and Ben Constanduros, who caught up with Mark Webber.
Mark, a pleasure to have you here at the Goodwood Festival of Speed. A big fan of classic motoring. It's nice for you to be here and have a look at these amazing cars.
Yeah, incredible. You know, some of the examples that we've got here this weekend, well, every year actually, they just roll them out endlessly, and they're just a brilliant opportunity for fans to see the cars, even for us guys to drive cars that were, you know, I was around in this era. Unfortunately, I'm getting pretty old pretty quick, but there's some cars which, you know, I wasn't around in some of these eras, and you get to see how the cars were designed, and some of us younger guys driving them is a good experience.
Now, Mark, you're driving the GT1 Porsche, but your name is on the Mercedes.
Yeah, that's a bit weird, isn't it? I raced this car in '98, and so yeah, actually I was in competition with this car, with the Porsche. So we did very well against the Porsche in the sprint races, but the Porsche, you know, won the Le Mans 24 Hours. So yeah, both these cars were extremely aggressive at the time. I mean, this is a V12, 7 litre, I think 7.2 litre. The torque on this car was very impressive, tricky to drive quick. Bernd Schneider was my teammate, one of the best drivers I ever drove with, fantastic driver, very quick. But the GT1 is, it was very interesting, because when I drove the GT1 the first time, I said, you know, that the engine is gorgeous, the brakes, the handling, the traction, all the types of things, yeah. So I can actually have a feedback on both cars, and the theory is which this was a little bit better, but I think you can see why the Porsche overall was just a slightly nicer package.
And a beautiful machine as well. Looking forward to going up the hill in it?
Yeah, I've driven it before. Cars are still out there, and they're still in great nick, because obviously Porsche had them from off the racetrack into the museum, and they still keep them in great nick. And with Klaus Bischoff's team, they really run them well, look after them, and it's a labour of love. And you know, to give them the keys to us guys is very special.
Mark, thank you very much for coming here.
Thank you. No worries.